or fiction. People that work with multi-level marketing companies are employees, not entrepreneurs. Welcome to another week of Entrepreneur Insider, the show that goes deep into the hearts and the minds of entrepreneurs of color that are doing amazing things in our community. And we're excited to tell you about them and help promote them here on this platform. If you'd like to be featured, we want to know more about you. So stay tuned to the end and we'll give you our contact information. My name is Tia. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider and the founder of the Black Entrepreneurs Network, where our mission is to support entrepreneurs of color, give them information and resources that help close the educational and financial gaps that exist in our communities. Thank you for joining me today. Did you know today is National Be a Millionaire Day? So I'm going to dedicate this seriously to all the millionaires out there and all of you with a millionaire mindset. Thank you for joining me. And don't forget to hug a millionaire. Okay, let's get to business. So, just like there are several paths to financial independence, there are several ways to become an entrepreneur. There's blogging, there's digital product creation, there's affiliate marketing, there's real estate, there's multi-level marketing, and on and on. The list can go on. But I want you to comment below and tell us, what business industry are you in if you're an entrepreneur? We want to know more about you, and we want to make sure that we feature information that can help you with your business in future episodes. Now, back to today's topic. There are over 350 multi-level marketing companies, and that's just in the US alone. Now, our Entrepreneur of the Week that will be featured shortly is affiliated with one of the top 100 companies in the United States. So I want us to take the time to give you some information because there are a lot of myths about multi-level marketing out there. Let's start with the one at the top of the show. First of all, multi-level marketing people, as they're called, they're usually not called it. They're usually called representatives. They are not employees of the company that they're affiliated with. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of those companies have employees, right? You can't get to be $1 million or $1 billion company without employees. So they do have people that help with sales or help with training or help with HR, or sometimes just kind of help with answering the phones, right? So those people are employees, and I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you what they do. However, there are independent contractors that are affiliated with those companies, and they are not employees. Most of the people that you know that are affiliated with companies, and I hate to say names because I'm sure I'll leave a lot out, but Melaleuca or Young Living or Legal Shield, all of those people are independent contractors. Now, you may say, what's the difference between an employee and an independent contractor? Good question. So an independent contractor is responsible for everything for their business. They are legitimate business owners, and they usually start their business with a multi-level company because of the low cost of entry. But they're still responsible for things like creating their business name, determining their business structure, whether they want to be a sole proprietorship or form an LLC, for example. They are responsible for their own costs associated with running their business. So whether it's marketing, whether it's going out and obtaining flyers, participating in vendor shows, no matter what it is, you get my point. They're responsible for it, and they file their own taxes. No taxes come out of any pay that they receive. Now, you might say, but isn't multi-level marketing pyramid schemes? Nope, they sure aren't. Now, I'm not trying to tell you there aren't any pyramid schemes out there, but they usually are not related to reputable multi-level marketing companies. These companies actually have a structure of how they operate, a structure of how pay is received, a structure and guidelines in terms of what can be done and what can't be done with their copyrighted material. Now, if they're an employee or someone is an employee of a multi-level marketing company, then they're told everything from when to report to work to how to do their jobs. Whereas independent contractors are given a guideline and they determine the rest. Let's just leave it at that without making it super, super complicated. So I've been associated with several multi-level marketing companies, and I can tell you that there are a ton of great ones out there, and the majority of them have amazing opportunities for people that love their product and want to share it with others. So I would love to introduce you to today's entrepreneur, this week's entrepreneur of the week. Her name is Keysha Riddick. And in addition to starting her business, she also has a lot on her plate. So she'll tell us a little bit about how she got into business, why she got into business, her ideal customer, and how she helps them. We'll talk about everything from automation to lessons learned. So thank you in advance for watching this video. I know you'll love and learn so much from our Entrepreneur of the Week, Keysha Riddick, owner of Nail Kandy by Key. Okay, hello everyone. This afternoon, we are excited to feature our Entrepreneur of the Week, Miss Keysha Riddick. She is the owner of Nail Kandy by Key, and she's going to spend a few minutes, give or take, this afternoon, just telling us a little bit more about her business, why she became an entrepreneur, and any of the exciting things that she has going on in her business that she wants to share with you. So welcome, Keysha. We are super excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yay. Okay. So we're going to just jump right on in. What is one of the hardest lessons that you've had to learn, or a lesson that you've had to learn the hard way about being in business?
Hmm. I've learned quite a few lessons in the short time that I've been in business. I would say the hardest lesson for me has been you've got to follow up. I have lost momentum, lost customers because I did not follow up. And that is something that I am actively working on making that more of a habit to make sure that that does not happen again.
That is a great lesson. So that actually brings me to a question that I had a little bit further on, but this is a good place to ask it. What is your favorite software or tool or business hack that helps you follow up?
My favorite hack or tool that I seem to love, but other people I talk to don't, is Trello. I I love Trello. I started out with the free version, then I upgraded to Trello Gold, and now I have the business version. But I love the automation aspects of Trello. I love that I can have everything all in one place. I currently have my email sent to my Trello, and then I can assign myself tasks from my email. I can set reminders to follow up with people. So I get an email when someone orders, and then I set a reminder to follow up with them on a certain date. I get notifications for my reminders. So I like one-stop shopping. I like automation. So that has been my godsend. It took some time to set up, but I'm rolling, and I might change it up soon, but I'm
Yeah.
rolling with it now.
Okay, and you got to do what works, because unfortunately a lot of us don't have things that work. So if even if you had to invest time, I'm sure it makes it worth it and saves you time on the back end, right?
Right, exactly.
Definitely. So, Keysha, you were telling us a little bit about Trello, which is a project management tool that you use to help you stay organized and follow up with your customers. Um, can you tell us a little bit more about the business version that you use and why you use that?
Sure. I I started out with the free version, which only allows you one power up. So it has these things called power ups that allow you to optimize your board. And I found that there were a couple of different power ups I wanted to use. So I upgraded to the gold version because I erroneously thought that gave me additional power ups, but it does not. Um, it gives you more backgrounds and a couple of more automations. Excuse me. And automations are the the tools that I really like, where I'm able to say, if I click this, then move this card here and things like that. Excuse me. Um, but ultimately, I upgraded to the business class because it has unlimited power ups and a lot more automations. I don't know the number; it's not unlimited, unfortunately, but a lot more. I was getting notifications like halfway through the month, like, "Hey, you're at 80% of your automations," and then they would just stop. So I didn't want that to happen because I didn't want to lose momentum. So I upgraded to business class, business. I don't know if it's called business class. Trello business. I upgraded to Trello business so that I could have additional automations and unlimited power ups. There are other features that I'm probably not taking advantage of, but those were my selling points.
Okay. And just so everyone knows, this isn't advertising for Trello. Keysha is not a representative for them, but she definitely can share her expertise with any of you that would like to know more. And Keysha, just really quick, is Trello just good for people in your industry, or any industry can use it?
Any industry can use it. I've actually gone down the rabbit hole of Pinterest trying to find out the best way to use Trello. And people are using them to organize their homes. They're using them for bullet journaling. They're using them for meal planning. They're using them for like keeping kids' schedules straight, for planning travel. There's so many different uses because it's such a broad, basic concept that you can really make it personal for how it works for you.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering our questions. I definitely, if it's okay with you, would love to share your affiliate link just so everyone knows, the affiliate links are free for anyone to use to learn more about the tool. But if you decide to make a purchase through them, Keisha may receive a free product or service or something offered by Trello. But we encourage all of you to click her link, which will be posted down below this video, and connect with Keisha to ask her any questions because, again, why recreate the wheel if you don't have to? So, okay. Uh, that was my quick commercial for Trello, who does not sponsor this show, but maybe in the future they will. All right. So, okay. So I always start with the hardest questions first, because I know you're right. Like, why is she asking me about Trello and the most difficult lesson I've learned? But there's a lot of lessons in entrepreneurship, and there's a lot of tools. So we always want to share that information. But let's just take a step back and tell us, what is Nail Kandy by Key? Like, what do you do? Who's your target audience? Why'd you start your business?
I'm so glad you asked that. So, Nail Kandy by Key is a company that sells 100% dry nail polish strips. We're affiliated with a company called Color Street. They come in these strips that can be applied to your nails, kind of like stickers, but it's actually nail polish. They last for 10 to 14 days, made in the United States, and come in over 100 different colors, designs, and options. Fully customizable salon quality manicure in the comfort of your home at a fraction of the price. I started Nail Kandy by Key because I actually attended a party, a Color Street party for a friend. And I saw how easy it was to apply. And my mind was like literally. And I was like,
Complex and everything.
yeah, that was awesome. So I've got to try this thing. And then when I tried it, I was just like, I've got to tell all my friends. So I had my own party, invited my friends, and I was just like, I've always, and people who know me will hear me say this frequently, not a salesperson, never wanted to be a salesperson. Like I worked in telemarketing at one point, and people were like, I was like, do you want to buy it? No. Okay, then bye. And so, not the best salesperson, but I felt like this was a product that sells itself. It's innovative. It's not something that you've seen before. Even though there are other companies that have sold wraps, they were made of plastic. This is actually nail polish. It doesn't require any additional tools that you have to buy. Like you can just literally buy this and be good to go. It doesn't take a lot of time. I know that we are all very busy. You asked about my target audience. It's women, of course. There are some men who use Color Street, but primarily women who are busy, women who have families, women who have jobs, women who do not have time for themselves. This allows us to have that special me time, even if it's just 10 minutes in the bathroom or in the car at lunchtime to do something for you. And we know as women, when we look down at our nails and we see the pretty designs or the glitter or our nails just look good, that just does something for you as a person. And it kind of builds you up. Like I feel better about myself because I look good or I'm presenting this. Business women like to have their nails look nice because they, are talking with their hands or they're interacting with people, and it just gives a whole polished appeal. So I got into it because I thought there's so many different people who need this, who probably don't know about it and would love it. And that's my goal. My goal is not to sell Color Street. My goal is to give people the opportunity to experience it.
Oh, I love that. And definitely speaking as well, one of your customers, which of course is why you're featured this week. But and entrepreneur, a mom, like you said, life gets in the way. Sometimes we don't have the time to go to the nail salon and sit there forever. And sometimes we don't have the money, like especially for people that have been affected by COVID or even just, before COVID, life in general, right? Sometimes your budget just doesn't work out and your favorite nail tech leaves. And so I can attest, I don't have them on now, unfortunately, but I will actually have some on later because I know from my experience with doing a lot of lives and talking to a lot of people, it does help me present a professional image on camera as well as in person. So I definitely feel like, you are directly on target for reaching your audience. And like you said, there's a lot of us out there. So if anyone else wants to be impressed and save time and find something that goes along with their style, definitely they should check you out. Okay, this isn't a commercial for you either, but
Just want to say my motto is treat yourself.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. Yes, definitely. It is an amazing treat that people, should, that is definitely worth their time. So, okay. So getting back to, and I'm glad you mentioned the company that you are affiliated with. Are you okay? Need a water break? Okay. So I'm glad you mentioned the company that you are affiliated with, because the reality is there are a lot of companies out there with products who get brand recognition through the use of, sales reps or representatives for the company and things of that nature. So Color Street, for example, happens to be one of those companies. It's not directly owned by you. You work along with them and an affiliate with them. Is that correct? Okay.
I am what's called an independent stylist. So Nail Kandy by Key is my business. My products come through Color Street.
Okay. And I'm so glad that you actually made that distinction because a lot of people, just being transparent, they think that if they work with another company, they're an employee of another company. So just to clarify, you're not an employee of Color Street, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're an independent contractor, right?
Yes.
And what that means, and you're welcome to add anything, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what that means is you file your own taxes, you have your own expenses. Basically, Nail Kandy by Key, although you're affiliated with Color Street, it's your own business, correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, and what made you decide to, I know you told us what appealed to you about the product, but I don't know if they actually, I don't know if there's similar products out there, right? I mean, I know there's usually different products for different companies, but what made you choose Color Street versus either another company or finding another like nail product like company to go with? I guess if that makes sense. Like what made you decide to go with Color Street, I guess, is the question.
So I probably had a different process than most entrepreneurs. I know the process is supposed to be, find out what your passion is and then research and follow that and all of that. I will be honest and say my passion was not nails, past tense. Currently is. But in the past, yes, I love to get my nails done, but that's about it. Like I left that to the professionals. And to be honest, I discovered Color Street during the COVID pandemic shutdown. And it was a time when I could not get my nails done. I literally got my nails done on March 13th before everything shut down. Like the day everything shut down, I got my nails done. And so when it was time to get my nails done again, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do?
Oh,
I
okay.
can't go to get my nails done. I don't want to go get my nails done. What do I do? And my nails all broke off. They were so damaged. They were sure I had grown my nails out and they had all broken off. It just was not a pretty thing. And I did not feel good. I felt, really kind of sad every time I looked at my hands, like, oh, my nails. And so when I discovered Color Street, I actually was in the process of starting to look for things that I could do at home. I have never been successful at applying liquid nail polish at home. I always had bubbles or smudges or something that just was not to my perfectionist standards. So that's why I chose not to polish my nails at home. I looked into dipping powder. That was a disaster. Color Street, the timing of it was just perfect. Like I went to this party and I was like, oh, this is what I need. And that's just what caused me to go with Color Street. I am vaguely aware of other companies, but I'll be honest, I've never experienced them. I've never tried them. I've never been introduced to them. I learned more about them after I joined with Color Street, just to know the distinction between the two, like the plastic versus the nail polish and the tools that are required versus with Color Street, these are my tools. Like I literally just preparate with my fingers. So, and I'm all about easy. I'm a little bit lazy. All about easy. Reframe. Lazy is easy. I'm all about easy and fast and saving money. Those are my three main priorities. So.
Okay, that makes total sense. So, you mentioned actually that you didn't take the quote unquote traditional route in terms of having a passion and doing your research, but actually, it sounds like you did do some research, even though it was need-based research. It was right. It was just a need to figure out how to manage your nails in a COVID time. So we definitely applaud you for that. And then once you found this passion, and you've pursued it and you started this business, can you tell us, did you do any, and I don't know if there's really a traditional method, right, to starting business. I mean, I know we always talk about business plans and things like that, but it's never too late to go back and think about, how will you get customers, or how will you market your business, or, what is your mission statement? So, once you started your business, did you kind of take a step back and say, okay, this is my business. I've kind of started it out of a need, but out of a newfound passion. Now, let me do some of those quote unquote traditional research or business planning methods to help me sustain and build my business. Did you do any of those things once you began? And if
I
you did,
did.
what?
I did. So actually, through my affiliation with the Black Entrepreneurs Network, I have learned so much. As I said, I've learned so much. I have learned about CRMs. So I've done a lot of research on CRMs and actually used Trello for my CRM. I've worked with a business coach to come up with some ideas and plans. I have not yet done a business plan, but that is something that I want to do. I haven't, created a mission statement or anything like that. Still trying to navigate my way in the business world, but I definitely am open to the horizon. I'm so optimistic about this business. I will say I have done other retail type businesses like Avon and I sold lingerie, but I didn't follow through with them because it was kind of like when people start wanting it, I'm like, okay, well, people don't want it no more. So I've been blessed with this business, to be honest, that it is, continuing to grow, continuing. The more opportunities I share with people, the more interest I'm gaining. Color Street is constantly coming out with new shades and designs. So it's, even people who are like, I've tried that before. There's always something new for them to try. Um, so there's things that I have on the horizon. I would like to do vendor events. I would like to do in-person parties. I have lots of things that I would like to do. And ultimately, I have a goal to be kind of like a trainer for people
Hmm.
in a business like mine, to make it a little bit easier. Um, Maybe compile all the things that I've learned for them so they don't have to go look for it.
Yeah, wow, that is great. Definitely love it. And again, you kind of led us into our next question, so thank you. So, and you
I
kind of
promise I
touched.
don't know the questions.
Yeah, I know. No, nope. No one ever knows the questions. I kind of throw them out everyone every week. Keep them on their toes. So you actually mentioned some of the things that Color Street uses to kind of set them apart from their competition, their value proposition, right? You mentioned how they change designs frequently. They give their independent stylists opportunity to meet customers in different ways, whether it's in-person events, virtual events, things of that nature that you mentioned. So, from a Keysha perspective and a Nail Kandy by Key perspective, what is your value proposition? What is so unique about you that sets you apart from any other Color Street stylist that gets your customers to not only return to you, but to recommend you to their friends?
My, what did you say? Business
Value
proposition?
proposition, like, or just
Value
your, yeah,
proposition.
value, or just something
Business
that makes you
proposition is something
unique.
else.
Yeah, I was
My value proposition is me.
love it.
My customers get me. I am, if I say so myself, hilarious. But
Hey, that's the key. Like, if I said it, it
I
must
like
be
to think,
true.
but yeah, I like to bring humor. As I said, I love easy, so I love to show my customers ways that they can optimize the use of their investment, or their, their purchase. So I like to show them options that they have. I like to show them how to get more bang for their money. I like to offer them incentives. I offer games and sales and freebies, and I actually have a VIP group on Facebook called the Candy Crew, the Nail
Mhm.
Candy Crew. And my goal for the Nail Candy Crew is really just to create a community for those women that I told you are my target. Feel like this is our space. Yes, it's about nails, but it's about so much more. It's about us like minded people in the same place at the same time, sharing things about ourselves and kind of, feeling good about ourselves. That's the whole purpose. We don't have any negativity in the Nail Candy Crew, because there's so
Okay.
much of that in the world.
Yes.
But it's about just a community. And I really have worked very hard to create that community feel within that group. And so every potential customer that I have is invited to be a part of that group, to be a part of that community.
Okay. Love it. Yeah, we definitely need a sense of community. I mean, not just today when it's crazy in the world, but every day. So definitely applaud you for understanding that and making that available to your crew. And I love the branding. Like I don't I like we weren't necessarily going to get into branding, but just kind of speaking as a third party. And I'm sure anyone that watches this show will feel the same way. And especially if they see you and your logo that's behind you, your shirt. And then you mentioned, the alliteration in the Candy Crew, and that the fact that you have a Facebook group. And if they actually go, they'll see the same type of branding. I think branding is super important. And from my perspective, it also sets you apart because when I think of you, or when I'm out in a group with other people, I'm like, oh, she has the same kind of candy theme, and she has the shirts to go with it, and so it makes you memorable. So that also is something that's unique about you. Not that you need anything else, because you do great by yourself, but just so you know, um, the feedback from
Yeah.
the audience. Yeah, so
And
branding
I
is
do love
important.
candy, so that makes it a little
Okay.
easier.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Who doesn't? Well, I think some people don't, which is weird, but we're not gonna go there. Okay. So, okay. So, have you Always, and I think you mentioned you've only become an entrepreneur last year. So, what do you do when you're not doing Nail Candy by Key? Do you have a full time
Hmm,
job? Are you
I
retired?
do. I do. So
Okay.
I work in education. I'm actually a special educator, and currently I am leading a special education department at a middle school, which is a very demanding job, especially during COVID when we had to, to move to virtual instruction and then hybrid instruction, and now planning for re-entry to back to in-person instruction. And in addition, I am a full-time caregiver for my mom who is recently disabled, um, which is an honor and a blessing for me, but also a challenge to try to juggle the three.
Yeah. So how do you, again, I love you. You're like your best interviewer because you just like go right into the next question. So literally my question is, how do you balance being a full-time, working full-time, owning a business, marketing, all the things that go along with the business, making sure your customer orders are fulfilled, things of that nature, and then handling your personal matters. Because the other thing I know you didn't mention is that, and I happen to know, is that you're a mom. So really now that's like four things, right? And four big things. So how do you manage that juggle?
Not always very well, if I'm being completely honest. Um, I am working to fine tune that process, which is why back to Trello uh,
Mhm.
to help me. When I have a task come up that I can't attack right then and there, I put it on my Trello board.
Hmm.
And with my Trello board, I have a my inbox, as I said, for my email. I have a backlog where I just kind of put things. And then when I have time to sit down, I can go and schedule when I want to work on that, or, is that something I need to do right now? Or is that something I can do next week? Things like that. I also have recently started doing something called a power hour. It's an idea that I got from a fellow independent stylist. But basically, I designate an hour to work on um, as many tasks as I can. And what's been helpful with that is batch scheduling.
Hmm.
So I will batch tasks. For example, last night's task was mailing. So I had some cards that I needed to send out. I had some gifts that I needed to send out. I had some orders I needed to send out. And then I had some emails that I needed to send. And so I batched all of that together. So rather than being pulled in different directions, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. I focus on just that task. My next power hour will be focused on scheduling my Facebook and Instagram posts so that I, that's kind of like already in and I can just interact with my people and not have to worry about scheduling. When I initially started, I had a hard time scheduling posts. And so I was just kind of like putting things out as I thought of them, which was usually after work. So now I can kind of think ahead of where I want to go. I try to put out at least one post per day for the month and then add things in throughout the day. But I will be honest, I've fallen off on my nail inspiration and I know my candy crew needs that. So I'll be back on that this week.
Okay, definitely. What do you wish entrepreneurs of color, whether they're just starting off or whether they're in business and they're trying to grow, what do you wish they knew about running a business and being an entrepreneur?
Um, I wish they knew to give themselves grace
Mm,
and to give others grace. I think, and we've talked about this before in the clubhouse room for the Black Entrepreneurs Network, but I think sometimes that title of Black entrepreneur creates this expectation that may be a little higher than just the term entrepreneur. And so there's an expectation that we may perceive or assume, um, but there's also an expectation that our customers may perceive or assume. And sometimes they don't necessarily line up. And then I think that as a consumer, I think that we need to give our entrepreneurs grace as well. Um, so we talked about at one point like reviews and things like that, how we're more likely to give a negative review than a positive review. And sometimes negative reviews are warranted, but let's try to
True.
balance that out a little bit.
Right. Definitely true. Okay. And then one final question. Sorry, my camera's slipping a little bit. How important are networking events and meeting other entrepreneurs, whether they're entrepreneurs of color or allies? How important is that to you on your journey and helping support you as an entrepreneur with your business?
It's extremely important, and I'll tell you why. When I first got into working with Color Street and starting Nail Candy by Key, I did not see a lot of independent stylists of color.
Hmm.
I don't think there are a lot, honestly. To be honest, we had a conference in January, and with all of the different stylists that were presenting, there was only one stylist of color, and like some other stylists of color that I'm familiar with were like, "Yeah, it's one of us!" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I guess so.
it's a big deal. And so, on one hand, you feel like this is a missed opportunity. Like, if there's not a lot of stylists of colors, then there probably not a lot of customers of color that know about this product. So for me, that is something that is an exciting challenge for me. That no nobody has this company's been in business for 3 years, and I was just introduced to it in July. So I would wager that a lot of people that I know or people in my community
Mhm.
have not been invited to it as well. And
That's good to
as
know.
far as networking with other entrepreneurs, for me, because I do not have that business background, I do not have a lot of business experience. I'm like a sponge. Like I learned
Mhm.
so much from other entrepreneurs about what to do as well as what not to do,
Hmm.
um, and different
What?
tools. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
So
That's totally true.
So it's very important for me to network because I learn, but I also have opportunities to share my product with other people.
Definitely. Yeah, and you brought a good point. I didn't realize that Color Street had been around for so many years. So definitely an opportunity, and hopefully we can help you spread the word and get some more, customers of color. Definitely a benefit to them. So, Keisha, I would like to thank you so much for spending this time with us this afternoon and telling us about you, about Nail Candy by Key, and where you are on your journey, as well as the hacks that you shared. Before we end our interview, can you tell us what you have coming up? Do you have any parties, any special events, anything that we should know about and share so that we can support you?
Well, I can't spill the beans because all the special stuff happens in the Nail Candy crew.
Sure.
So if you want to know what's going on, you got to join the Nail Candy crew on Facebook.
Definitely. That is true, right? Membership has its benefits. So we will be sure to share Keisha's contact information, including where you can find her Nail Candy Crew on Facebook in the comments down below. So again, we'd like to thank you, Keisha, for the time that you shared. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about Keisha, Color Street, her products, how to support her, definitely reach out to her. And like we say to everyone, please support this entrepreneur the same way you'd want your businesses to be supported. So thank you all for watching. Until next time, peace.
Thank you. Bye.
I hope that you enjoyed meeting our entrepreneur of the week and owner of Nail Candy by Key, Keysha Riddick. She dropped a lot of great jewels and information on us, and I want to highlight a few of those points before we close. First, it's okay if your journey into entrepreneurship is a little bit different than the next entrepreneurs. We all start our businesses for different reasons, whether they're a passion, whether they're a product that we found and became excited about, whether we're just kind of thrust into entrepreneurship. They're all okay. And it's okay to not compare yourself to the next entrepreneur. Next, it's super important that you have goals, that you review those goals, that you keep moving forward and set new goals. Next, I also recommend using tools to automate your processes and your businesses when possible. So, tools like Trello are effective to help you manage your emails, to help you do things like make sure customer inquiries get responded to in a timely manner, and more. I've also used Trello in my coaching business, and I recommend it because it's super easy to use. If you want more information on Trello, you'll find the link down below. Come back and let us know what you think. And if you're currently a user of Trello, tell us that down below because we want to hear from you as well. This episode was brought to you by the Black Entrepreneurs Network in partnership with Relationship Entertainment Television. If you'd like to be featured in an upcoming episode, then please contact me directly by emailing info@theblackentrepreneurssnetwork.com. Now, if you learned one new thing, I know you learned more, but if you learned one new thing from this episode and you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to click that red subscribe button down below. And stay tuned to RETV for future episodes of Entrepreneur Insider and watch their entire programming lineup. I promise you won't be disappointed. Until next week, be great.